In the 4th Era 05, Vvardenfell and the island of Morrowind was devastated when Red Mountain erupted for the second time, bringing about an event known as the Red Year. Many Dunmer perished and many towns were completely decimated by the wrath of the eruption. We can see evidence of this during the Dragonborn DLC for the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, where Solstheim, the island to the northwest of Morrowind, is now home to many Dunmer refugees. The once frozen terrain has been replaced with ash and smoulders as Red Mountain continued to erupt for over 200 years. But what of the island of Morrowind and the surrounding province of Vvardenfell? We can see Red Mountain in the distance in-game while on the island of Solstheim, but you're unable to visit the island. How's it going, guys? My name is Kingcraft, and today we're looking at a recently revived mod called Shadow of Morrowind. This mod aims to allow the player to travel to the island of Morrowind and Vvardenfell to explore the province during the 4th Era, present day as we experience it in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The mod originally started in 2013 by SOM Team. The mod was left unfinished and the creation of the mod eventually stopped. Recently this year, however, the project has been revived by Morrigan Games and their team, who aim to finally finish this monolithic project. The Shadow of Morrowind is currently in the very early stages, and apart from a large landmass that you can explore, creation of most towns, cities and locations has not been completed, or even begun in some areas. However, this mod has a lot of potential in my opinion, speaking as someone who's always gazed over at the island of Morrowind with nostalgia, and wondered what had become of my beloved Morrowind. Although the mod isn't ready to be a mainstay in your mod list at the moment, it's a worthwhile trip over to the island to explore. In this video we'll be looking over the currently available areas of the mod that you can explore. It's important to remember that this mod is still in the very early stages of development, and I'm not one of the developers of this project, so I cannot confirm nor deny what content will or won't be in the finished product. That being said, why not start where it all began, in 𝐒𝐸𝐸𝐷. At the moment all that remains of this beloved town is the lighthouse, standing strong against the odds. There's no dock, no Aryl's trade house, and no familiar wood elf who has a habit of losing their jewellery. Already the remnants of 𝐒𝐸𝐸𝐷 make me feel melancholic. I'm not sure if that's a theme they're going for with this mod, it's just my personal reaction. Some towns like Nar Mok and 𝐃𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿 are pretty fleshed out and still recognisable from the Elder Scrolls 3. However, cities like Aldrune, the once great council seat of House Redoran, is a shell of its former self, pun intended. Today only the great carapace still remains, lost to time. The same goes for some of the coastal towns I'm particularly fond of, like 𝐃𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿. It's taken a severe hit since the eruptions. I imagine the city of Vivec, or rather what's left of it, will be a highlight of this mod in the future, as the downfall of Bardeu and the subsequent destruction of Vivec plays a big part in the concept of this mod. At the moment though, Vivec has not been added. Great Telvanni towns like Voss and Tel Voss still remain, although very dilapidated. I love how the castle Tel Voss is depicted in this mod. For those who don't know, the castle of Tel Voss was originally an Imperial controlled fort until it was taken by force and used as the home tower for the Telvanni mage lord Master Arian. The castle was eventually consumed by the mushroom root system from the neighbouring town of Voss, creating a mixture of architecture of both Telvanni and Imperial, making it a very unique location anyway. I like how now, after the eruption, the castle has crumbled, but the hardy roots of the mushroom remain. I've also found what I believe to be the start of Sadrith Mora. I've also noticed that most, if not all, of the Dunmer strongholds have at least a placeholder in their location. The most fleshed out stronghold I've discovered is Vaelin Varian, mainly occupied by orcs in the 3rd Elder Scrolls game, and it can still be seen here today. The same can be said for a lot of the Daedric runes, which are some of my favourite features of Morrowind's terrain, and it makes sense that these ancient monuments would remain despite all that's transpired on the island. I've stumbled across a fair few Dwemer ruins too, like Thung Thumbs. I love the name of that one. Thung Thumbs, which is one of the biggest ruins I've found, although they're currently built using the Skyrim Northern style architecture. These assets may just be placeholders though, and they may be replaced in the future with Morrowind's typical Dwemer style. There are resources on the Nexus for modders to use, so I'd like to see them switched out in the future. All across the island you can find the entrances to most of the ancestral tombs that litter Morrowind, although you can't actually go inside them, which is the same for most locations in this mod. There may be doors on some of the buildings, but I have yet to find any interior locations, apart from some in-world open caves, and one interior location called the Wolf Hole, which is one of the very few locations that also has creatures. On the southern plains of Morrowind, where the Bitter Coast region used to thrive, you can come across charred zombies wandering the barren landscapes. Perhaps these zombies are the remains of unfortunate Dunmer who didn't make it out alive. There are some locations with NPCs, such as Fort Tullus, although they're just bandits. That being said, I did stumble across an Argonian and his companion at a Dwemer ruin, and I remembered all about the War of Accession. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, after the Red Year, the eruptions of Red Mountain left Dunmer society completely devastated, and the Argonians of Blackmarsh took advantage of this and invaded Morrowind in retaliation for the years of slavery and servitude. Something I would absolutely love to see play out in game. So seeing these two little lizard boys was one of my favourite encounters of this mod so far. Although they're just two basic NPCs, it could be the beginning of an amazing aspect for this mod. Needless to say, I'd love to see more Argonians living in Morrowind now. They're better suited to survive Morrowind's new and harsher climate, perhaps even some sort of accession guild the player could join. Just a thought. Which brings me to the greater province of Vvardenfell, the area surrounding the island of Morrowind. A location not actually available in the Elder Scrolls 3. However, many of you may recognise it from the extensive Morrowind mod called Tamriel Rebuilt. I haven't played much Tamriel Rebuilt myself, so I'm not super familiar with Vvardenfell as a whole. However, the western areas of Vvardenfell, right up to the Pale Pass and the borders of Skyrim, are currently available in the mod, with the east and southern landmasses not currently available. So the city of Almalexia and Mournhold are not currently included. That would be something I'd be very excited to see in the future though. On the western lands of Vvardenfell sits the most fleshed out locations and regions that I've come across, with towns and cities and settlements being already worked out with the environmental aspects too, such as snow and ice appearing the closer you get to the Skyrim border. Now I know what most of you are thinking, what about Red Mountain itself, the Citadel or Dagoth Ur? I'm unaware of the future plans the devs have for these locations, although currently Red Mountain is definitely looking very mountainous, being a huge landmass with a much more realistic scale to that which we've seen in the Elder Scrolls 3. Atop the mountain is currently one location, called the Red Mountain Crater, where the heart of the volcano sits, surrounded by lava and magma pools. I for one am extremely excited to see this project grow, and I'm so glad the project has been reignited by another team of passionate modders. This project definitely deserves our support. And Morrigan Games are currently looking for other modders to join their team of developers to work on the Shadow of Morrowind. So if you're a modder or have experience with a creation kit, check out the Nexus page and get in touch with them. I may create another video on this mod in the future after bigger updates are released, but for now I highly suggest you take a trip to Morrowind and explore its shadow for yourself, as I haven't covered absolutely everything this mod has to see. I'd like to end this video with some more cinematic shots to showcase just how beautiful the environment is. Thank you so much everyone for watching. If you're interested in trying this mod for yourself, or you want more information on the mod, you can find the link to the Nexus page below in the description, as well as my social media links, and ways that you can support my content, and a link to my Twitch channel, where I stream heavily modded Elder Scrolls. If you've enjoyed this video, leave it a like, I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribe for more Elder Scrolls content.